Okay, today I'm talking about the one health hack. This is numero uno for increasing your longevity and for preventing disease and reversing disease. Yesterday, my wife and I were at the beach, and we met this man from Colombia who lives here now. He's working here. He's actually a barber. And very nice man. We started talking, and he told us his story. Okay, he's 51 at this point, but he told us that he had a stroke, and he was in a coma for 3 days. 3 days. People thought he was going to die. The doctor thought he's not going to make it. But anyway, he was alive and he was talking to us. And I said, I can tell you what you really need to do to prevent that from ever happening again and reversing the effects from the stroke. He fortunately, he was talking fine, speaking English pretty well for somebody from Colombia, and he's a barber, so he still has his functionality. So, but the point is, I told him that the root cause of your stroke, too much dietary fat in the diet, too much saturated fats. And he agreed with me. He knew that he was on a high-fat diet before he had the stroke, eating, let's say, lots of animal products, cheese, eggs, chicken, fish, meat. And so he was listening. He was a humble man. Okay, he had humility. He was ready to listen to somebody. And we weren't in a doctor's office. We just met on the beach. And I said, what you need to do is go on a low-fat diet. Because I firmly believe this, okay? Because I was raised on a high-fat diet. We survived on fat. That was our source of calories. We ate a lot of animal-based products and ice cream, cheese, you name it. And I had health problems. And always, younger, as I was growing up, I would get the flu two times a year, whatever, frozen shoulder. I had horrible issues with bowel movements, and all those things. I had frozen shoulder. It all cleared up when I went vegan, low fat. Because some people are vegan, but they're eating tons of avocados, tons of nuts and seeds. Now, granted, avocados, nuts, and seeds are the good fats. They're the healthier fats, much better than fried chicken. That's carcinogenic, fried chicken. You know, frying something in boiling oil, that will produce carcinogens. You don't want that in your body. But even the nuts, the seeds, the avocados, they contain saturated fats. And if you eat too much of that, you're going to get sick. Why? Why do I say that the overconsumption of fat is the number one problem worldwide? Yep, number one problem worldwide that causes some type of sickness. Because saturated fats start to build up in the body. Even if you're eating bacon and eggs at 5 years old, you might not experience the devastating effects until you're 45, 50 years old, because it takes many years for that to build up. And I've seen it happen. People have heart attacks, dead. Strokes, dead. It happened to my brother-in-law. He had a stroke, and he went in for surgery on his carotid artery. I called him after that, and I spoke to him on the phone. I said, Bobby, how you doing? He goes, oh, man, Tommy, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I had the operation. Everything's good. Everything's fine. But he never learned anything from that experience. He didn't learn a thing. And the doctors never told him, you need to go on a low-fat diet. He continued with the same diet he was on, and 8 or 9 months later, he had the heart attack, and he's no longer with us. It's sad. He died from a heart attack. So I told this man from Colombia, you need to go low fat. I got his phone number, he's got mine, so we're going to keep in touch. I'm going to try and help him. And he texted me, okay? He texted me, and he said, in his text, he says, is creamy peanut butter okay? Now, peanut butter has a ton of fat. That's what he's craving. He's craving fats. Why do people crave fats so much? Well, we live in very stressful times, the most stressful times in mankind's history, without a doubt. And when we're stressed out, we use food, many people use food as comfort. It calms us down. It makes us stop thinking about problems that we may have, or anxiety, the reality of this world. If we eat a ton of fat, if we eat 2 or 3 pieces of fried chicken, we're numbed out. All of our energy in our body now is going to digestion. So our minds can't even think. We don't have the energy and we're numbed out. But that's not the way to go. You have to fight that urge to eat those foods that are going to numb you out, because you're creating more plaque in your body. You're creating more congestion in your body. Congestion is the biggest problem that humans face, and it's all because of too much fat in the diet. Because we need good blood flow. And when there is congestion in the body, it's a breeding ground for bacteria, viruses. That's why people are getting sick. Congestion causes diabetes. The insulin is not functioning properly anymore. There's too much congestion. The insulin can't get the sugar out of the bloodstream. It's coated with fats, oils. And so I'm telling you, this is what you need to do. You have to really lower your fat consumption. And what do you need to do? You need to eat more fruits. Like here, I've got blended watermelon. Does watermelon have fat? Yes, a little bit. In the seeds, for sure. And eat leafy greens, which give you that burst of nitric oxide, which can help clean out your blood vessels and your arteries. And you're going to reduce that congestion, and you're going to prevent the biggies: heart disease, diabetes, cancer, all these diseases, lupus, chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia. They're all caused by too much congestion, which is caused by too much fat in the diet. And this is a worldwide problem. I mean, people look at me and go, man, you're too skinny. I don't think I am. And but people are used to looking at people overweight. So when they look at someone like me, they go, oh, is he dying? Does he have cancer? You know? And it's a sad situation, but that I have to say, without a doubt, it's number one cause of disease is too much fat. So, you know, you've got to work on that. Fruit is the answer. Go more towards the fruits. Now, let me also say that, you know, not all fat is bad. We do need fat, of course, but we need it in small amounts. We were not designed to get all of our calories, the major portion of our calories, from fats. Not even close to even 30% of our calories. That would be horrible. And most people in the US here are probably eating 40% of their calories or more from fat, and they don't realize it. They don't realize it. They think they're on a healthy diet. Oh, I just had one egg for breakfast and I had a little avocado. And then for lunch, I had a tuna fish salad on whole grain with lettuce, tomato, and I had a little side salad. And for dinner, I had wild-caught salmon and a nice salad with some olive oil on it. It's way too much fats, eggs, avocados, oils, salmon, tuna fish. You're getting way too much fat. People don't realize it. They don't realize it. We need small amounts. You know, half an avocado, a little handful of nuts. That's about all we need per day. That's it. We don't need more than that. We're designed to get our fuel from carbs, fruits, and then you have to go to vegetables, of course, fruits and vegetables. And you can also go to rice and beans and potatoes and quinoa and millet and all your other grains and things like that. Personally, I don't eat that food very often. It's not as healthy as just the fruits and the vegetables and the small amounts of fat. So I hope this resonates with you if you're having problems with your health. The number one thing, recommendation that I can make for you, lower your fat intake. Start to eat more fruits and vegetables, and you're going to see a very subtle, beautiful change in your body. Your body's going to thank you for not congesting it and making it, the blood flow is not flowing the way it should. You're not getting the oxygen to every cell in your body, in your big toe, in your brain. You're not getting the glucose that fuels every cell in our body because the body's too congested. So your brain is not getting the glucose. Your muscles are not getting the oxygen. And you're wondering, why am I always sick? Or why do I have fibromyalgia? Or, you know, why do I have diabetes? Or I have heart disease? That's the answer. And I know sometimes it's tough to take because I grew up on fats too. And I know when I get stressed, oh man, in the past, I used to take like a whole bag of chocolate-covered almonds. Now, the chocolate had cocoa butter in it, and the almonds have fat, and I would eat the whole bag. I would just eat the entire bag. But I had digestive issues. Oh man, I very big problems with bowel movements. My joints were so stiff from the uric acid that's caused by, well, that's mainly caused by animal-based foods, but I was eating a lot of that too. Hamburgers, you name it, steaks. I used to eat that stuff like water, like water. I used to drink milk like water. I don't do any of that anymore. And at age 74, no medications. I don't see any operations in the future. I don't want it. And more flexibility and still good levels of energy. So any questions or comments, but that's my #1 tip. Fruit up, baby. That's exactly what I'm going to do right now. Fruit up with some watermelon blended with the seeds, and I get the watermelons with the black seeds, and I think it's fine. It's absolutely fine for you. And when you have that cold watermelon, there's nothing more refreshing than blended watermelon. Give it a shot. Please check out my website. If it's your first time here, please subscribe to the channel and post any questions or comments below, and I do my best to get back to you. All the best. Fruit up, baby.